A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a critical ruling for the upcoming 2024 presidential election, the Supreme Court has decided to allow election officials in Pennsylvania to count provisional ballots cast by voters whose mail-in ballots were deemed invalid. This decision comes amidst a backdrop of intense political maneuvering, with both major parties focusing their efforts on the battleground state of Pennsylvania, which has historically played a pivotal role in determining the outcome of presidential elections. The ensigned order from the Supreme Court was issued late on Friday, rejecting an appeal from Republican officials who sought to block the counting of these provisional ballots. The ruling has the potential to impact thousands of votes in a state that is considered crucial for both President Joe Biden's administration and former President Donald Trump's campaign as they gear up for the 2024 election. Recent polling indicates a tight race between Vice President Kamala Harris and Trump, making every vote count even more than usual. The legal battle began when two voters in Butler County submitted mail-in ballots without the required secrecy envelopes, leading to their ballots being rejected. Upon being informed of the rejection, these voters were given the option to cast provisional ballots on Election Day, which they did. However, the County Board of Elections initially refused to count these provisional ballots, prompting the voters to take legal action. In a narrow 4-3 decision, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court upheld a lower court ruling that mandated the counting of provisional ballots for voters whose mail-in ballots are invalid due to technical issues. The court emphasized that provisional ballots serve as a safeguard to ensure that voters maintain access to their fundamental right to vote. The ruling signifies a broader commitment to facilitating voter participation rather than erecting barriers to the electoral process. The Supreme Court's decision comes at a time when Trump and his allies have been vocal about unfounded claims of voter fraud, particularly in Pennsylvania, a state that swung narrowly in favor of Biden in the 2020 election. The Republican National Committee, RNC, argued that the Pennsylvania Supreme Court's ruling could have significant implications for the election, potentially affecting tens of thousands of ballots that could ultimately influence control of both the Senate and the White House. In their appeal to the Supreme Court, Republicans requested that if the court did not grant a full stay of the state ruling, they at least require provisional ballots to be kept separate from the official count until the legal matters could be fully reviewed. Justice Samuel Alito, joined by Justices Clarence Thomas and Neil Gorsuch, acknowledged the importance of the issue but noted that the decision to pause the state court ruling would not impose any obligations on state election officials for the current election cycle. The Pennsylvania case underscores the ongoing tensions surrounding election laws and the role of the judiciary in shaping electoral processes. As the election approaches, both parties are ramping up their campaign efforts in Pennsylvania, where early voting and mail-in ballots have already seen significant participation. With more than 1.5 million mail ballots returned in the state, the counting of provisional ballots could play a decisive role in the ultimate outcome of the election. The stakes are high, as Pennsylvania has historically been a key battleground, with Biden winning the state by a mere 80,000 votes in 2020 and Trump securing it by about 44,000 votes in 2016. As the legal and political battles continue to unfold, all eyes will be on Pennsylvania to see how these developments impact the 2024 presidential race. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.